He karakia tīmatanga me te whakakapi kaupapa. Kia tau ngā manaakitanga a te mea ngaro, ki runga ki tēnā o tātou, kia mahea te hua mā kihi, kia toi te kupu, toi te mana, toi te aroha, toi te reo Māori, kia tūturu, ka whakamaua kia tīna, hui e, tai ki e.
Naway ang lakas at buhay na taglay ng ating mga ninuno. Bawat isa ay nasa atin. Alisin ang mga hadlang sa ating landas upang manatiling mahalaga ang ating mga salita, espiritual na kapangyarihan, pag-ibig at wika habang buhay na matatag, taimtim at nauunawaan at tuloy-tuloy tayong magkasama.
Hi, welcome to ating session about accredited employer work visas. At sasamahan tayo ni Attorney Maris from Law Space para ipaliwanag ito ng mas simple at mas malinay. Attorney, yours po.
Hi, good afternoon to everybody. My name is Raj today. And today, task ko is basically to talk about what's new with accredited employer work visa. And before I start, I hope everybody's keeping warm. I know it's very cold in Aotearoa at the moment, and I just hope that you guys are keeping warm while enjoying the information that we will be sharing to you. As you have probably seen in the ads, what we're going to be talking about is the changes and the new policies about the accredited employer work visa. For some of you, pwedeng narinig nyo na to ilang beses na. But our aim is to basically spread awareness, clarify kung ano pa yung mga unclear sa inyo, and at the same time, to give you a chance to talk or to ask us questions after this presentation. So, next slide, please. I guess ito, next slide. I guess yung pinaka sigurong very prominent na pangyayari with the changes is that the removal of the median wage requirement. Okay, ano ibig sabihin nito? Remember nung dating AEWV, everybody who applies for a accredited employer work visa needs to be at a median wage. At the moment, the median wage is still at 31 point something, but then by August, it's 33, again, point something. Okay, sorry, I don't have it on top of my head. But with the new policy, ang nangyayari ngayon is that you don't need to be in the median salary for an employer to give you a job offer. However, as I've mentioned dito sa slides natin, the market rate provision still applies. Anong ibig sabihin nun? For example, kung ang market rate for a technician would be $35 per hour, and your employer would be offering you at $27 per hour, hindi pa rin uubra. Okay? Ngayon, I think this has been the experience of the people who are renewing. Kasi some of the employers, because sinabi nila, is that, oh, there's no need for you to be in a median salary anymore. Kaya lang, please remind your employers that if they're gonna be offering you a job, probably for people who are already in New Zealand or renewing, ang ano doon is that make sure that you do research kung ano yung standard market rate. It's also possible then na it's either mas mataas yung market rate, and obviously you have to justify. So sources could be what is the existing market rate provisions in terms of SIC, in terms of career services, etc. Kaya lang, kagandahan lang naman ito, for other occupations, you don't really need to meet the median. Diba? Halimbawa, may occupation that is just above the the minimum wage, for example, 27, 28. Previously, you could not apply for a work visa kung hindi nare-reach yung median wage. But with this removal of the median wage requirement, pwede na. Next slide. Ito naman din, I am sure a lot of us was happy dun sa provisions sa binigay nila na you could now bring your family, your dependents, your wife, your spouse, or your partner to New Zealand alongside with the children. Kasi previously, that's around 40,000+. Ngayon, you could still bring your child, kaya lang ang income requirement na is about 55,000, or I computed it earlier, to be exact, that's 26.84 per hour. So if you're earning about 26.84, you could now bring your child, okay, to New Zealand to become a domestic student. Okay? Ang ano nito is what was the change? The change was it was increased. Pero at the moment naman, I think the people who are applying for a work visa, they're earning at or above 26.84 mostly. Now, the next slide. One of the other changes would be, ito na, I like this very much kasi with the changes at the moment, what we're using is that the Australian New Zealand Standard Occupation, or Classification of Occupation, or ANSCO. Ngayon, itong ANSCO na to, it is now in transition that we are gonna have our own classification. And our own classification is what you call a National Occupations List, or NOL. Ang kagandahan nito, this is now a New Zealand-based assessment. So, makakapture nito yung different occupations within New Zealand, which previously has a clash with the assessment with the Australian version. And the important thing about it is, nagsimula nung March 10, that the following occupations, such as yung cook, pet groomer, kennel hand, nanny, take note of that, fitness instructor, scaffolder, slaughterer, are now also considered to become in skilled employment, which is classified as skill level 3. Anong ibig sabihin nun? If your skill level is in 1 to 3, normally there is an option for you to apply for residency. I'm not gonna talk about this now kasi baka mahilo tayong lahat, but I just wanna continue on the other occupations, which would be on the next slide. Meron na tayong other roles that is now considered to be skilled employment or skill level 3 would be ito, agricultural and horticultural operator, excavator, Okay? Forklift driver and mobile plant operators. Dati kasi they are not considered as tawag nito, as skilled employment, and they are considered as a level 4. Now, these roles are now considered as level 3. Now, the next slide. Ito yung sa tingin ko ang pinakamagandang nangyari in terms of the people who are applying for a work visa. Bakit? Kasi remember, there used to be a requirement that before you're able to apply for work visa, you need to have at least 3 years of verifiable or relative work experience. Sorry, verifiable and relative work experience. So, dapat related dun sa ina-applyan mo. For example, you want to apply as a painter. Ang requirement dati dapat 3 years. Ngayon, if you're coming from overseas, for example, sa Pilipinas, all you need is to prove that you have 2 years minimum work experience. So, hindi mo na kailangan i-complete yung 3 years. Okay. So, I think this is good kasi minsan, di ba, some people have gotten a job offer fortunately to New Zealand, pero kulang sila ng years of work experience. However, let me just caution you, yung work experience, it's not, it's no longer parang effective to just give Immigration New Zealand yung letter of employment or certificate of employment because they want your work experience to be verifiable. Ngayon, meron akong nakita nyo dyan sa slides natin that I said that if you have a qualifications in you, for example, you got a bachelor's degree. Kung may bachelor's degree ka, even if you don't have a 2 years minimum requirement, and we could use that bachelor's degree, pwede ka pa rin mag-apply ng EEWV without having to show that you have got the work experience. Okay, next slide. This one is also good. Okay, and this would only be starting in November of this year. So there would be 2 new pathways for seasonal workers. So ang kagandahan pa nito is that it would include the 3-year multi-entry visa for experienced workers. Kasi normally yung seasonal workers, after their visa, you have to go back to your home country and then apply again and then start the working. Ngayon, ang kagandahan nito, you could technically apply for once with the duration of 3 years. Okay? And with that one, you could stay in New Zealand, okay, for the duration, or a 7-month entry, single entry for a lesser skilled workers. Okay? Ngayon, the other thing is that, the next slide please, they could also be just going through the seasonal experience visa. Ang nito is later on they could also be parang a pathway for residency, which I'm not going to discuss now, but we're going to focus on this slide in front of us, which is ito. Remember, kapag ang iyong job occupation is considered as a level 4 or a level 5 in ANSCO determination, ang mabibigay lang sa'yo would be 2 years of work visa. Ngayon, this is very important dun sa mga tao na nabigyan ng 2 years work visa. Because with this change, you could now apply for an extra 1 year, making it 3 years of work visa. For example, ikaw ay construction worker. Okay, it's a skill level 4 or level 5 determination under ANSCO. With the new policy, you don't have to stay for 2 years. You could actually extend it for another year. All right, so magkakaroon ka ng 3 years na work visa. Ngayon, I really don't want to go through tawag nito, yung question and answer now, but I want to address a question that is mostly asked of me. Sinasabi nila, paano kung I now have the 2 years, diba, work visa because I am on skill level 4 and 5, and I applied now for an extra 1 year. Anong mangyayari sa akin? Should I go home? Okay, ngayon, technically, di ba meron pa tayong stand-down period. So, ibig sabihin nun ay kailangan kang umalis, okay, for the stand-down for 12 months, or you could now go and look for a job which would be considered as skilled o yung 1 to 3. And then what you could do is to apply for a work visa that will entitle you another 2 years or 3 years. Okay, so yun ang good news natin. Okay? I think yun yata siguro. I'm sure that that's going to be a question later on with that, and I could expand. Now, on the next slide. Ito yung meron pa rin kasing leveling, and probably all of you know that before an employer would give you a job offer, the employer would have to advertise the position. Kung ang position niya is yun dun sa 1 to 3, the employer would only need to advertise it for 14 days. Okay, so 2 weeks essentially. Ngayon, if it's on a lower skilled, okay, o tinatawag natin level 4 or 5 jobs, then the minimum requirement for an employer is that it has to be 3 weeks or 21 days. And they also need to confirm that they've interviewed the suitable candidates, and they have also advertised it with Work and Income before they able to apply for a job check dun sa Immigration New Zealand and obtain a job token. Ngayon, has this really changed? Not really. Because ang ano lang dito is that nadagdagan lang ng additional 7 days, or now it's a requirement of 21 days for dun sa skill level 4 and 5 jobs. Next slide. I like this one, okay, which just started. Anong ibig sabihin ito? Kasi minsan, with the previous policy, if you're applying from AEWV to, halimbawa, student visa to a work visa, okay, ngayon, ang iyong interim visa would only be a visitor's visa. Ngayon, if you are applying for a work visa, okay, any work visa type, okay, you are now entitled as your interim visa to have a work entitlement. So which means, hindi katulad nun, kung may delay ang immigration, imagine that. From a student visa to a work visa, wala kang interim that will give, may interim ka pero walang work eligibility. Or from AEWV to a different employer, di ba? Ang mangyari doon, hindi ka pa pwedeng mag-apply ng work visa. Or from partnership work visa to an AEW visa, wala ka dating entitlement. But you know, as it started in April 2025, you now have got an eligibility to work, which means that you're able to maintain your employment while your visa is being processed. Okay, next slide. And this one is for the employers. Okay, ito, ang ano ko dito would be, remember may mga online modules that Immigration New Zealand has been asking employers to fulfill. Technically, I feel that it's also good to do that. However, sometimes it becomes a burden to the employers. And what immigration did was ni-remove na nila to. Okay? Ang requirement na to would benefit yung employers, but in a sense, this is my personal opinion, I feel that, you know, somehow the employer should also be required to complete that so they know their obligations. But I think the intention was this is to tawag nito proficiency and to remove the burden to the employers. Okay, next slide. Ito yung pinakabago, okay? This would be happening in August 2025. I like this. There are 10 trades that is going to be added onto Work to Residence pathway. Yung Work to Residence pathway, for some people who doesn't know, is that you work in an employment for 2 years After 2 years, you could apply for residency. Pero hindi lahat ha, kasi some people would say, Ma'am, naka 2 years na ako to work in this employment. Can I already apply for residency? Okay? Ngayon, ang ano natin dito, in the next slide, we will show you what are those eligible occupations, which I am very happy because we have so many kababayans who are working in these occupations such as metal fabricator, metal machinist, fitter, fitter turner, pressure welder, panel beetle, vehicle painter, and then paving plant operator. Ngayon, if you are in this occupation, ang kailangan mong isipin ay, on the next slide, is that ano ang mga eligibility criteria. Okay, dapat nagtatrabaho ka, obviously, in those 10 listed trades. Second, you must be 55 years old or younger. And you must maintain your health and your character. And ito yung iba na, wag kayong kabahan, okay? Try lang, is to fulfill the English requirement. Okay? As I mentioned earlier, you need to be working in that occupation for 24 months and you need to meet ito yung next wage and job specific criteria, which will be in the next slide. Okay? So ano to? Okay. Remember, it's going to start on August 18, 2025. For a metal fabricator, fitter, machinist roles, dapat ang sinasahod mo. Hindi to guys, hindi to suntok sa buwan. I know people who are earning this rate per hour, 43.64 per hour, or equivalent of annual salary of 97.50. Okay? And then, doon naman sa, vehicle trades, okay? Ito medyo ng konti. Ang salary nila would be 38.59. Okay? Again, normally itong nasa vehicle trades, etc., they're earning around $40 per hour. Okay, ngayon, ang question dyan, I know the questions would be, paano kung hindi ako sumasahod yan ngayon, pero tawag nito, mag-a-apply ako ng visa. Ang natin doon would be, dapat sinasahod nyo yon and you have obtained 2 years of work experience in those occupations. Now, going on to the next slides. Okay. Ito, effective dun sa regular na mag-a-apply under skilled migrant category. If you're gonna be applying for skilled migrant category, ano ba to? Yung tinatawag natin na point system. Remember, to be able to apply for skilled migrant category, you need to have 6 points. So 6 points could be half of it, could probably coming from your qualification, and then the rest would be coming from your work experience. So every 1 year of work experience in New Zealand counts to 1 point. So for example, may bachelor's degree ka, and the bachelor's degree is counted as 3 points. So kailangan mo makabuo ng 6 points. So you need to render 3 years of work experience. Ngayon, anong kailangan mo? Kailangan mo to achieve, before you apply, a rate of 33.56. Ngayon, meron tayong mga kababayan, and you know that marami nagpupunta dito sa New Zealand that they have studied their masters, they have studied their postgraduate. If you've done your master's, ang ibig sabihin nun, you could already claim for 5 points under the skilled migrant category. Anong mangyari doon? All you need to do now is to gain 12 months or 1 year work experience, tapos may 1 point ka na for your work experience, and you just have to make sure that when you apply, you are earning $33.56 per hour. Okay? Ngayon, ang nito would be yung impact, obviously, of the median is that the median rate would always change. So, ang nito is definitely it changes every year yung median because this is coming from Statistics New Zealand. However, ang immigration normally would set it at 1 or 1.5 years before they put up the eligibility or the requirement under the median wage. So at the moment, August 2025, okay, I know it's kind of unfair for those people who have invested time to go to 31.25, I think. Kasi if you apply on or after August 2025, the salary that you should be earning is now at 33.56. So those are the things that, as I said, this is going to be short and sweet, but I want to focus on, obviously, the question and answer, and at the same time, what we wanted to do at Law Space and in Banyuhay is to give information. We want to give you the information update as soon as they become live, as soon as they announce by immigration. All right, so yeah, I think that's it for now, and then we would be answering some questions. Krishna, are you going to be...
Yeah, thank you, Attorney. Marami kami natutunan at sana marami din natutunan yung mga kababayan natin ngayong gabi. Yeah, I think it's time for question and answer. We've got our first question here. Yeah, so what is the process of extending my accredited employer work visa? And yeah, if you just want to answer that po, Attorney.
Okay. So, okay. So, ang question natin is, what is the process of extending my AEWV? Okay. And what are the requirements? Number one that you need to be looking at is, tanungin nyo if your employer is still an accredited employer. That's number one. Bakit? Kasi, ang nun, not because an employer has sponsored you, dapat continuing yung kanilang accreditation. So that's the first thing that you're going to be asking them. Accredited pa ba yung employer ko? Now, the second thing that you need to be asking them is that, do you have a job token for me? Okay? Kasi hindi ka pwedeng mag-extend o mag-apply ng further work visa if your employer doesn't have a job token. Okay, so yung job token na yon, meaning nagpa-job check sila. And again, yung employment offer mo, di ba? Will it meet yung current requirements? Ano yung mga requirements niya? As I mentioned earlier, pwedeng nung panahon na yon, di ba, median rate lang, di ba? Nagkataon yung position na binigay sa'yo, the market rate is higher than the median. So the employer should be giving you a salary which would be at the market rate. Otherwise, the employer has the task of justifying to Immigration New Zealand why you are being paid less than the market rate. And obviously, all you need to be looking at is my health status still okay? Is my police certificate still valid? And then at the same time, tawag nito, yung ilan na ba yung na-spend time ko sa New Zealand. Remember, you are allowed to stay here for 5 years, di ba? So anong mangyayari din sa 5 years? Are you gonna be subjected to, okay, possible to stand down? Tapos remember, kung ikaw naman ay nandoon sa lower skilled, as I mentioned earlier, or yung level 4 and 5. Sorry, I'm just used to saying lower skill, but it's not the meaning yung yung position nyo Lower, sinasabi ko lang outside of 1 to 3 or 4 or 5 equivalent ng occupation mo and under ANSCO. So yun, pwede ba ako mag-apply ng additional 1 year? Kasi di ba kung skill level 4 or 5 ka, with the new policy, we know it is. Pero anong gagawin mo? So your employer would also have to do the same thing that they've done before. They need to advertise, get a job check, at they would be giving you an offer employment. Okay? Tapos yung second check nun, as I mentioned earlier, yung salary requirement. Are they meeting the salary which is now not the median, but what is the market rate? Okay, so I hope that answers you the question. Second question natin. Ito, ano po ang mangyayari? Siguro I have to read it na lang. Ano po ang mangyayari sa may
Ako na lang po.
Sige, good. Yay!
Ayan.
Kala ko wala ka. Good.
Dito. Okay, so question number 2. Thank you nga po pala sa pagsagot ng first question. Sana naliwanagan yung sender natin dyan. Okay, so for the second question, ano po ang mangyayari sa may existing AEWV? Kasali po ba sila sa bagong rules at kung ano ang pwedeng gawin?
Okay. Kung yung visa mo valid pa rin, okay, then you don't have to worry about it. So hindi yun. Kung ano yung visa na bigay sa'yo noon, you have been approved of that visa, you don't have to worry about anything as long as your visa is still current. Okay. So ngayon, ang ano lang doon is that kung yung occupation mo, for example, naalala mo yung sinabi ko kanina, yung mga new occupation, ba yung mga, ano ba to, fitter, metal fabricator, machinist. You know what I want you guys to do for your advantage is I want you guys to now renegotiate your salary. Bakit? Kasi remember, kung AEWV kayo noon, tapos na-approve kayo at 31 at that time, or kung ano man, 27 at siguro wala nang 27, so mga 31. Ngayon, for you guys to be able to qualify para magkaroon kayo ng work to residence is that yung visa entitlement nyo will remain the same, pero ang in-negotiate nyo internally now is to ask your boss for a better rate. Diba? So kung nandoon ka sa metal fitter, machinist, blah, blah, blah role, then 43. Tingnan ko lang. Ang rate, 43.63. Ngayon, kung nandoon ka naman sa anong position yun, a vehicle painter, panel beater, at saka paving plant operator, I would start asking my boss to increase me to 38.59. Bakit? That will give you an advantage. So after you working in that occupation and in that salary range for 2 years, you could apply for residency. Okay? So yun ang ano natin. Ngayon, yung mag-a-apply naman, yun ang nang bago. Sila yung will be affected by the new policy. Okay? Next question.
Thank you. All right. Question number 3. Naka-working visa po ako, kaya lang po na-redundant kami noong December 2024. Pwede ba kaming humingi ng tulong sa inyo para makahanap kami ng accredited employer?
Yes, definitely we could help. But the limitation of that, bear in mind that as a lawyer, I am not a recruitment agency, but definitely we have a network of employers whom we could submit your possible job applications. But obviously, I'm not promising anything. Ang siguro ang kaya ko i-promise sa inyo is to be able to help assist you. Ano pa yung option mo? Kasi minsan ang nasa isip natin, na option natin, ay, na-redundant kami. Anong gagawin namin? Unang-una, ang kailangan yung isipin is makahanap ng bagong employer. Whether through me, whether through other people. And then, right away, as soon as you get that, you apply for a new work visa. If it's the same occupation, you could apply, and you still have got a longer work visa, is to apply for a variation of conditions of your visa, meaning lilipat ka doon sa ano. Pero ako, I prefer that you apply for a new work visa instead of VOC. And at the same time, ang ano natin dito is, halimbawa wala pa. Remember, kung wala ka ng employer na redundant ka, you have got an obligation to disclose that information to Immigration New Zealand. Perhaps pwede tayo mag-apply ng, I just call it by myself, na bridging visa. Ano ba to? I don't want to put it out in the open kasi baka may mga other possible visa that you could hold in the interim while your possible employer is still doing yung kanilang dapat gawin, katulad ng job check application, kailangan pa nilang kumuha ng accreditation. Kasi imagine kung na-redundant ka ng December 2024 and today is already June 2024, who knows, di ba, there could be a revocation of your visa kasi technically, if you're no longer working for the employer that is put onto your work visa, in breach ka na dun sa visa condition mo. E paano kung maunahan ka ng immigration at i-revoke yung visa mo? Although we have what you call a GRR process, good reasons to present to them bakit hindi nila kailangan i-revoke, unahan mo nang gawin, be proactive. Okay, and yes, I could help you. You could contact our office. Okay, and then who knows, we could help you out. You could also, pwede kayo magpa-book ng consultation. Just today, we had an open legal clinic in person here in the office as well. You can see I'm in the office. Watch out for that. Nevertheless, kung medyo marami kayo, you could contact our office and I could talk to you guys about it, even as a group or even as individual. All right?
Thank you po. Okay, question number 4. I am an ECE teacher. I have a goal po na maging resident visa holder soon. Sa bagong patakaran ng AEWV po ba ay makakatulong ito sa goal ko?
100%. Kasi ang teachers ngayon would now have a direct pathway to residency. Okay, napakaswerte nyo kasi all types of teachers now is on the green list and you could apply straight to residence. Technically, if you have got you have done your registration, you got an offer of employment, if you're still in the Philippines, you could apply for straight to residence. Pag nagpunta ka dito, pwede kang residente na. Napakaganda, di ba? Kung nandito ka naman sa New Zealand, ang ngayon at meron ka ng employment, apply for a straight to residence. Kung nasa Pilipinas ka at may job offer ka na, ang gagawin natin is, para hindi mag-intay yung employer mo, is to lodge a work visa under AEWV, and then at the same time, you could lodge a resident visa application already. Napakaswerte ng mga teachers, and congratulations to you because of the profession that you have chosen. Okay? All right, next question natin.
All right. Can I still have a work even if it is not related to my work experience?
Okay. Ang question on that depends dun sa work mo. Okay, kung halimbawa ang ang qualification mo, let's just go ano ba na ang top of my head? On top of my head, ang occupation mo, halimbawa, bachelor's in biology, okay? Pero ang iyong work experience all through your life would be into construction or into sales, okay? Ngayon, ang mangyayari doon is that either you found an employer who would give you a job offer related to what you studied or what your work experiences are. All right. Ngayon, ang kagandahan lang with this policy, as I think in the earlier slide, is that kung may bachelor's degree ka, ang swerte ngayon kasi halimbawa, even if it's far away from the position that you would be, you've been offered, the mere fact that you've got your bachelor's degree and your bachelor's degree is comparable to New Zealand standards, pwedeng hindi related dun sa working experience mo. Kasi ang dami yun, is either dun sa inaral mo, wala kang doon, di ba? Halimbawa, nag-zoology ka, nag-biology ka, tapos nabigyan ka ng trabaho, o nagtrabaho ka na totally unrelated. Kung merong merong paghuhugutan, remember, it's either 2 years of work experience, halimbawa into sales, 2 years work experience ka in sales, pero zoology ka or teacher ka, 'di ba? Pero hindi ka nag-board. Okay na, or nasa call center ka, 'di ba? Tapos ang first course mo architecture, tapos you're still able to do a job as a technician, CAD operator, pwede 'yun. All right? So again, the policy for justifying why you're suitable to the job being offered, I think in my professional opinion at the moment, is very fluid, because it doesn't have to be just based on your working experience. It could be something else, which would be your qualifications. Okay. Next question.
All right, thank you po. Question number 6. May pag-asa pa po ba at maaari bang ma-renew or ma-extend ng 2 taon ang visa ko? Dahil sa susunod na taon, Feb 2026, ma-expired ang visa ko po. Ano po ang maaaring gawin?
Okay, una, katulad nung kanina, I want you to check whether your employer is still accredited. Tapos, ang second question mo is that may job check pa rin ba dun sa role mo? Tapos, pasok ba yung salary threshold? Okay, remember, kasi ito skill level, di ba? Ang ano natin dyan would be, with the new policy, pwede ka pa ng 1 taon. Ngayon, what I want you to do is, kung na-extend mo na ng additional 1 year, so nagkaroon ka ng 3-year visa. Hindi to on top ha. So may 2 years ka na, mag-extend ka, so kaya naging 3. Ngayon, anong gagawin mo? At least meron kang 1 year to go through another work visa, which would be potentially 2 years, provided na mag-level up ka. Kumuha ka ngayon ng job offer, which you will then probably qualify, kasi kailangan mo lang ng 2 years work experience, para makapag-apply ka into a level 3 occupation that will give you additional 2 years, para technically 5 years ka nag-stay sa New Zealand. Okay? And again, ang ano mo dito is, we could help you out, assess your situation, pero po pwede kasi meron kang bonus na 1 year because of the new policy. I hope that answers your question. Okay, next question. I think we still got another question. What companies give sponsorships? Sorry, nauna ako.
I think it's our last question na po. Yeah, what companies give sponsorships?
Okay, I think ang question doon hindi what companies gives sponsorship, kasi baka nila. Siguro ang question that is suitable would be, what are the companies who've got accreditation from Immigration New Zealand? Okay. So ngayon, ito, you could go to immigration website. Siguro later after, ibibigay ko yung link dun sa comment section nitong live natin, because I'm sure it's gonna be posted in the Banyuhay page or dun sa YouTube channel natin. There is a list in immigration website ng mga accredited employers. Okay, ngayon, bakit ko sinabing bakit dapat hindi natin gagawin ng sponsorship? Kasi pwedeng accredited employer sila. Ang question natin is that, anong mga posisyon ang pwede silang magbigay ng sponsorship, at saka kung meron ba silang job check token? Okay? So pero, good start yon. Ang una mong gawin, look into immigration website. I will send the link later on. At ando dun yung list, o pwede ka rin actually pwede kang mag-search dun dun sa ibibigay kong link, at lagay mo yung pangalan, company name ng balak mong applyan, okay? Tapos pagka nakita mo doon, lalabas kung accredited sila o hindi accredited. At least, alam mo na, first and foremost, bago ka mag-apply, that they are an accredited employer, at possibly kung may position sila at meron silang job token, that they could give you a sponsorship. Okay? So, yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Krishna, I think we've got questions.
Yes po. From Facebook, from Alan Lumba de Dios. Ma'am, itanong po kung paano po pwedeng mag-open visa?
Okay, ganito. Yung open work visa, 2 ways. Number 1, dapat merong principal applicant. Okay, so kung may principal applicant, halimbawa yung partner mo ay may EEWV, as a partner, you could get an open work visa. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, okay, kung ang partner mo ay citizen or resident or work visa, as I mentioned, pwede ka mag-open work visa. Number 2, kung ikaw ay nag-aral nag-aral ka sa New Zealand as international student, you have got an eligibility to apply for a post-study open work visa. Number 3 is that kung ikaw ay naka-AEWV, ang isa lang pero medyo ng konti, sensitive ng konti is, for example, ikaw ay naka-AEWV and your situation is that involves a migrant exploitation, pwede kang bigyan ng 6 to 12 migrant MEPV work visa. Yun lang. Okay? So yun lang. Kung may work visa, may kasunod. May work visa po ako ng 5 years. Okay. Kung may work visa ka ng 5 years, unfortunately kaya ka nagkaroon ng work visa is because an employer sponsored you. Okay? Ngayon, the only way na magkakaroon ka ng open work visa ay kung ikaw ang circumstance mo ay magbago. Okay, I don't know your relationship status, 'di ba? Pero normally hindi ka kasi at the moment ito nga yung sinusunang ng madaming migrant groups is that sana open work visa. Ba kung carpenter ka, 'di ba? Sana sa carpenter you're able to work to any companies as long as carpenter ka. Unfortunately, kung ikaw ay may work visa ngayon at you are not satisfied with your employer, the only way na makalipat ka is mag-a-apply ka ulit ng work visa. Pero wala kang at the moment eligibility unless mag-aral ka. And as a result of your studying, you are eligible to apply for a post-study work visa. So, I hope, and if you want more discussions to that, pwede mo akong i-message Alan. Thank you.
Thank you. Sana naliwanagan ka, Alan. Okay, from Christopherson Anore. Paano po yung may existing AEWV? Hindi ba sakop ng bagong immigration rules and excavator operator? Wow,
okay.
Yung next follow-up question.
So, Christopher, ganito, yung existing AEWV mo, hindi affected, ha? Huwag kang matakot. Ang maapektuhan ka lang is kung sakaling, tawag nito, mag-extend ka ng AEWV. Okay, so about 3 years ka ngayon. Kung 3 years ka ngayon, bago matapos yung 3 years mo, mag-a-apply ka ng 2 years more, di ba? Yung existing AEWV ngayon, halimbawa, nakikita ko lang would be, dati, ang income requirement is median. Tapos, pwede ngayon sabihin ng employer na, ay, ang salary ngayon, hindi na kailangan median, pwede ka ng market rate. Nagkataon, ang market rate, hypothetical to ha, ay 27, 28. So, pwede ka nila ngayon sa hura ng 28 kasi kung yun lang ibibigay nila at it's an acceptable market rate, yun ang pwedeng maging effect sa'yo. Ngayon, kung excavator, kasama ba ang excavator kanina? Teka ha, i-check natin. Kasi parang meron ako nabasa kanina dun sa mga sinabi ko. Sorry, I don't have it on top of my head. Hindi. Hindi siya kasama doon. Pero, ang natin ngayon, kung sa excavator, alam ko ang nangyari doon is skilled employment na yun. Kung dati 2 years lang, ngayon, pwede ka nang mag-apply up to maximum of 5. Pero kung 2 years, dumiretso ka na ngayon ng additional 3 years, yun ang magiging positive effect sa'yo. Okay? Thank you, Christopher. At salamat sa pakikinig. Okay. Question, Krishna.
Okay. To apply for work to residence visa, required po ba na eligible ang wage for the entire 24 months o current wage lang ang titignan? From Rafi, Purification.
Okay. So thanks, Rafi. Unfortunately, kailangan yung entire 24 months. Kasi the concept is equivalent to dun, naalala mo yung work to residence for the healthcare workers. So ang policy with the healthcare workers is that they need to be in the salary for 24 months. So at the moment, it's 28.65 for healthcare workers, diba? So before you apply for work to residence, dapat 24 months kang doon. Ngayon, doon sa position natin, it's either 24 months ka na 38.59 or 43.63. Yun lang ang ano nun. So, ang ano nila, paano mo gagawin yun kung ang nakalagay sa visa mo is at the moment 31, di ba? Or yung iba pa nasa 27 pa yung kanila kung meron pang natitira na under the 27. Unfortunately, hindi papasok yung cycle na yun. Okay? Ang papasok would be the cycle when you have yung iyong wage requirement. So yung 24 ngayon. Marami nagtanong sa akin yan today. So kung ang nakalagay sa visa mo ngayon about 30, as I said, you negotiate and you make sure that everything is documented. Nagkaroon ka ng increase. Halimbawa kung ikaw ay ngayon, so metal fitter ka, nasa 35 ka ngayon. So medyo manghingi ka ng sa iyong employer na itaas ka. And then you will start for the entire 24 months, unfortunately. Not unless, kasi ngayon wala pang this one, remember this is only gonna start in August 2025. I just hope that they would say na eligible ka basta pag nag-apply ka ng work to residence ay nasa income requirement ka of 43. I hope ganun ang lumabas, pero with the existing work to residence visa, you have to be in that salary for the entire 24 months. Okay? So malay mo magbago isip nila by August 2025, which would be couple of weeks from now. Okay.
All right. Thank you. From Barber Ryan, Ma'am, may chance po ba mag-apply ng residency? Ang code ay green list pero yung role hindi. Thanks.
Okay. I think Barber, ang question mo dito is that yung code ay okay. Medyo merong complications to. Bakit yung code ay green list pero yung role hindi? Dapat nagmamatch yun. Okay? So what I want you to do, Barber, is this. Okay, I want to know more. We don't have to talk this out in the public. I want to know more bakit yung code mo ay nasa green list tapos yung role mo hindi. Kasi something is amiss there. Dapat tugma silang dalawa. And you know what? If the only reason that is not the same is because yung job description mo ay hindi, that's easily solvable by discussing it thoroughly, yung job duties and responsibilities mo with your employer. Kasi pag nag-match yun, if you're in the green list, then you've got a pathway for residency. Okay?
All right, thank you. And another question from Carlthea Lorenciana. Paano po kami electrical trade assistant? How to apply for resident visa? Mag 3 years na po visa sa May 2026.
Okay. Two things. Okay. Number one, depende dun sa, kasi iba-iba ang electrical trade assistant. Okay. Dun sa electrical trade assistant, ang kailangan nating himayin dun, ano yung role mo. Because I want that electrical trade assistant to get an ANSCO equivalent of a level 3. Okay? Kasi kung malilipat natin into a level 3 yan, then meron tayong possibility to circumnavigate it into applying for a resident visa. Basta obviously, we would have to be able to meet the other requirements. Ngayon, dahil naka 3 years work visa ka, you still got the entitlement of 2 years. Okay, again, pwede tayong, pwede natin, kasi kung ma-promote ka, okay, o ma-realign natin dun sa electrical technician, then that could be a skilled employment. Or baka yung ginagawa mo ngayon, let's explore the possibility, baka pwede tayo mag-apply ng registration okay, even as electrical service person under an EWRB, then we could do that. And then we could talk about yung pathway mo for residency. Kasi kung kaya mo mahabol doon and you've got a qualification that we could back out or a registration to back out, then back up, then we're able to progress to applying for a resident visa later on. Okay? And hello to Lorenciana family.
All right. Thank you. Sa mga questions natin, I think yun na po yung last question Facebook. And ayun po, thank you, attorney. May questions sila. Saan po kayo pwedeng mahanap or makontact?
I think dun sa last line. Okay, you could just get in touch with us. You could pop by the office anytime. We're just in Westgate, near Costco. So kung yung mga gustong mag-Costco, you could give us a message through our mobile number, nandiyan dyan 021-286-8472, or you could email us at info@lawspace.co.nz. And then, obviously, they could get in touch with Banyuhay, and Banyuhay could get in touch with us. And then, or dito sa natin, you could ask questions there. I think I'll be able to go through the questions. Kung yung mga nanonood, tapos hindi na tayo live and you guys could ask questions dun sa probably comment section or send me a message in Facebook, I will be answering you guys. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, attorney, sa oras nyo. At sa mga nanonood po sa gabi. Salamat, join. Sa mga hindi nakadala ngayong gabi, pwede nyo siyang forward. Nasa YouTube. Ipopost namin siya later. And may form po pala tayo at the end. So sagutan na lang para malaman niya ano yung next session na gusto nyo na makakatulong sa New Zealand life nyo. Okay. Thank you. And drop by sa website namin, which is banyuhay.aotearoa.org sa mga main events. Thank you.
Alright.
Good night.
Success ang ating Thank you so much, everybody.